Welcome back, viewers at home. Tonight, joining us in person is Faraaz Mahomed, the founder of Opuluxotic Events, which is a company that is, really transforming the event space with its innovative and immersive themed markets and expos. Now, Faraz is here to tell us more about the upcoming Summer Luxe Pop-up, which will be taking place in Erasmia. Now, this is a 2-day extravaganza featuring delicious food, lifestyle vendors, and fun activities for the whole family. So you can bring your kids, hopefully your cats, and your pets to come and enjoy. But Assalamu alaikum, Faraz. Jazakallah so much for joining us.
Walaikum salam. Thank you so much for having me.
I saw you were laughing at the idea of pets, so no pets allowed.
Well, I mean, I sometimes sneeze when there's cats around me,
Oh,
so
okay.
bring them along, but we'll check. It's
All
okay.
right, all right. Now, starting off our conversation, I want to find out from you with regards to what really inspired the creation of Opuluxotic Events.
So, Opula Exotic Events was founded just after COVID.
Mm.
And during that time, obviously, a lot of businesses went down, including Mines, which was the events company I had before this,
Yeah.
where I used to do weddings and parties and whatnot. And then I seen there was like a major need for a platform for all these new home-based businesses to showcase their products and services. That's where I started this. And Opula Exotics, well, the term, let me just describe that because that's like really, it's a tongue twister, but
Yeah.
it's quite cool. So opulent experiences, luxury vendors, and exotic venues. That's how I got Opuluxotic, and I combined that together. It's a tongue twister.
It is, it
But
is.
it's catchy. You get used to it.
Now, with that being said, looking at the history or where Opula Exotic comes from, how exactly or what actually drove you to venture into a world of themed markets? And if you can just break it down for us to say, what is the difference from your traditional markets to that of themed markets? Because now I'm thinking theme park, it's giving all things you can think of. So can you just really elaborate for us?
Okay, so back in the day when I used to host these weddings and parties for a lot of people, obviously they had a lot of themes to it. So one would be like a James Bond theme, a Hawaiian theme, that sort of thing. And a lot of the viewers and followers would ask me, not for us, why can't we attend that event? Can we gate crash? Can you give us like, a staff pass or something? And I was like, you know what, why can't we create a platform where public can experience these events by purchasing a ticket? Although, yes, that's like a long-term goal of what I want to achieve.
Yeah.
But Opula Exotic is just fairly new, so we're starting off small and slow. But that's the ultimate goal.
And how would you describe the evolving or the evolvement of this themed market itself?
So, look, you have to introduce this to the public slowly. I feel like when something really designer or luxurious is introduced to
Yeah.
people, it comes across as very like, niche. Although my events are open for everyone, all races, religions, cultures, and backgrounds, but I feel like you need to educate the people on how to go about appreciating it and absorbing all of that in. Because you don't want to segregate people by feeling, oh, it's too fancy for me, or
Yeah.
it's too, classy for me, I can't be there. No.
And seeing that you have a history in, an events company and with COVID killed a lot of businesses in that sense, but then you rised again, but in a different form in that sense. I want to find out from you exactly what would you say are key elements that you feel were quite pivotal to your journey and where you are in terms of running or curating successful themed markets?
So the one thing I can definitely tell you is never give up. Because I literally did. And it was the most weirdest feeling ever. Because you're on that high rise of growing, and then something just hits you out of nowhere and you fall. You just have to believe in yourself. And by believing in yourself, other people around you can feel that confidence, can feel that positivity, and that's what draws people back towards you with whatever you start up again. That's exactly what happened.
And I'm very curious to ask, what got you out of that space of giving up? Because usually, if somebody gives up on be it an idea or a dream, they usually do something that is of a tangent. And I could be wrong in my thinking. But you still ventured within the same, if I can say, space because, I mean,
Yeah.
weddings and parties to themed markets.
So I grew up in a household that was always entertaining. hosting events, hosting family. So I became used to just entertaining people, making people feel comfortable, feeding them, creating moments and memories.
Yeah.
So from doing weddings and parties, I was like, okay, what's the next big thing that I can do is to broaden the horizon to the public, make them feel what I feel at home with my family. So
Now, seeing that there's an upcoming event, Summer Luxe Pop-Up, and you can imagine if somebody has a very luxurious store, they want to be placed in a specific corner with specific lighting. The demands are like numerous, endless. And then you get attendees as well who would like to be also comfortable while they're navigating the markets and so much more. I want to find out from you, how do you then balance all these, preferences and ideally what people would like and would want when it comes to hosting such an event?
okay, so you mentioned a very important word, comfortable.
Yeah.
Okay, with my experience doing weddings and events and studying interior design, where I get to learn the space requirements for people to sit and eat. When you pull out a chair at an event, how much space you need for other people to walk through. I studied and learned all of that.
Yeah.
So I used all of that knowledge to basically, and my experience to put this together so that when public gets together to experience fun or these type of situations, that it's not an uncomfortable experience, because there's one thing people will always talk about, is their comfort, not really how beautiful the space was.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's exactly what I focus on, is comfort. And people,
Amazing.
yeah, people don't really realize that.
Now, with the promise of excitement, vibrancy, bringing the whole family, because when we're thinking luxury, it's like, okay, no kids, just the adults. And now with his kids, I want to find out in terms of if you can share the unique and must-see features with this, upcoming event.
Okay, so yes, with the luxury side of things, I feel it's more of a luxury experience for the kids, because I have a lot of kids entertainment. There's your rides, jumping castles. I have an entire kiddies area that's going to be decked out with slime making activities, painting, bead making, jewelry making. We also have horse rides. And I'm still confirming it, but there will be limousine rides as well.
Ooh, and this is also for adults, right?
Yeah, if you want to join the kids, then you can.
And what are some of the highlights that you'd like to share for the adults in case?
So, okay, so the highlights for the adults is obviously with Opuluxotic, my main ultimate goal is to give new businesses a platform. So I have a variety of new businesses that are starting up with me at my market, that helps to kick them off and venture off into going to other markets and expos and stuff. So there are a lot of new vendors that you can experience and taste and try out and shop at. And I mean, why not come to a place during the school holidays where your kids can just chill and do whatever they want, and you're just relaxing and chilling with your wife and your family, not even worried about anything. That is luxury.
So just for clarity, the entertainment for the kids is more like a daycare, because if you're leaving your kid, I'm assuming that there are individuals who help, look after your little one in that sense.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. So I feel like, yes, having the kids to chill and do their own thing, giving you the peace of mind, that's the luxury element. Because you can't experience that anywhere, like even public spaces or malls. It's a little bit difficult to achieve that.
True, true. And now, in terms of the Summer Luxe pop-up, can you tell us more, details around when is it, what time? I know we mentioned Erasmia, but where specifically in Erasmia?
Okay, so it is taking place in the heart of Erasmia in Christoburg.
Okay.
It is, yeah, I'm hosting it at the So Fine venue. It's a new venue that just opened up last year, and it is accessible to everyone. It's off the back road, happening on 11th and 12th of October, which is Saturday and Sunday. We're starting up at around 10 o'clock in the morning till late. So when the public dies down, we'll close. And I know our Pretoria people, we love chilling at night and coming out at night. So it's going to be a long day.
You have to like coming out at night, because the
Yeah.
heat in Pretoria, it does not play.
Exactly.
So it's like you don't want to be sitting out in the, what you call the sun, basking, and
Exactly.
then, but quite exciting. And I think when it comes to the entry fee, is there an entry fee?
Yes, there is an entry fee of around 20 Rand. Kids under the age of 10 are free. Yeah.
Nice.
Like,
And just lastly, in closing our conversation, I want to find out where to from here for Opuluxotic Events and also the Summer Luxe Pop-Up. Is it one of many or one of its kind? And also just looking at the themed markets, what can we look forward to in terms of futuristic events?
okay, so I have quite a few amazingly themed events lined up next year. This is the first time I'm hosting a luxury pop-up, so this is quite interesting to me. I want to see the experience here and the outcome
Yeah.
to then decide what's the next step from here. But this is a little bit, not really awkward to say, but the next market I want to host is a singles market.
Quite an interesting
Yeah.
take. And I would like to hear from viewers at home, or what are your thoughts around all things singles market? And I think that's when we'll have to have you back to tell us more with
Yes,
regards to what the attendees can expect and
definitely.
the lineup in itself. But any closing remarks for our viewers at home to take away from our discussion tonight?
I think the main thing I can say is like, it's one thing going out to shopping malls and supporting restaurants and your branded stores out there, but it's very important that you do for your local community business. You have to support them, you have to give them the feedback, the good feedback and the bad feedback. They need it in order to grow.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had vendors that started off with just one piece of item on their menu and they've grown to 10 pieces of items on the menu, and they're now venturing into opening up a small restaurant.
Yeah.
So, I mean, growth starts from nowhere, but it's all about community.
And I like the fact that you mentioned something around confidence, and we understand that progress and
Yeah.
progressing really does build one's confidence. And you can imagine if we, as fellow South Africans, or just as individuals, continue to support entrepreneurs with their dreams,
Yeah.
we can just only wonder where the world is, headed in that sense. Because now we know with Palestine and the genocide, we're cutting out a lot of things. And I think it's
Exactly.
quite refreshing to know that there are more humane and more, conscious alternatives that we can look into. But Faraz, Jazakallah so much, for joining us tonight and really giving us an insight around Opuluxotic Events and the summer pop-up that's going to be taking place in Erasmia. And we're hoping that the turnout is nothing but massive and people
Inshallah.
enjoy it. Jazakallah so much for joining us.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you having me.
Viewers at home, that was my guest Faraaz Mahomed, who is the founder of Opuluxotic Events. Now, as you heard from him to say, don't worry about chasing that little one who is so energetic and so excited to be seeing all things quite enticing to their eye, because there will be caregivers for them for the day, from horse rides to riding potentially Lamborghinis. It's a day to not miss. But for now, let's head over to an ad break. We'll see you just after this.